Hey monkeys, how you doing? Damian Keys here. So yesterday I asked you a question and it was in the form of a text status on my Facebook. And the question was, if you could erase one band or act from history, past or present, who would it be? Now, I want to do two things. I want to talk a little bit about why I did this and the results that came in and how this can help you. But then also, I want to talk about some of your answers because you guys are fucking hilarious. So, I hear quite often how video is the new awesome thing and everybody needs to be doing video, and if you're not doing video then it doesn't really cut through the noise. This is a classic example of why that isn't true, because this is a text status that I thought about at 8 o'clock in the morning. I wrote it and I sent it on its way. There was no picture attached, there was no video attached. I didn't even make it into kind of a pretty text status that you can on Facebook. I literally just typed it and I sent it at 8 o'clock in the morning. Now, I'll give you some ideas of stats. Like, that was sort of 24 hours ago-ish, and in 24 hours it's had 300 comments, and that is just direct comments, let alone the comments of comments. And on top of that, it's been reached by 28,000 people. Now, that's one text status that went out. Now, why did it do that? Number one, is because it's bringing value to people in the form of their opinion. So rather than preaching, or rather than me saying, this is what I want you to do, or what I want you to buy, which is what lots of bands do, it's actually getting people involved with an opinion. And let's face it, everybody's got an opinion about this. Everybody's got a band that they just hate. And so with this question, what I was looking for was, I wasn't looking for One Direction or Ed Sheeran or something obvious. I was looking for a band that you have this irrational hate of, that for some reason you just can't stand them and you just think they're really overrated. And I want something that kind of hits you right in the feelers, that when you say it, that everyone else kind of goes, ooh, like the Beatles or one of those massive bands, which we had a few of. So I mean, this got to reach more people via one text status than any video that I have ever done, just for one status. And it's because I'm involving the power of the audience and how they want to share it and how their mates are going to get involved. So it just goes to show that you don't have to be doing visuals. You can be doing something which just involves people. And I really believe that if you've got a Facebook, if you're in a band, you should, at least once every couple of weeks, you should be putting out a status, just one simple status, which starts to involve your audience. You'd be surprised. And what it does is it really kickstarts the algorithm, because as soon as people start commenting on it, Facebook goes, this is really important. We need to get this out to more people and more people. They think it's a life event when it isn't a life event, but it could be, because Facebook's dealing with just an algorithm. It's just dealing with binary codes, zeros and ones. Oh, it's been engaged by more people. This is important. Oh, it's got more people. This is really important. And it keeps feeding and feeding and feeding. And all of a sudden, that coupled with the shares means it hit 2 or 3 times the audience that I've even got. So more people are hearing about what I do simply from one text, which took me a minute to type out. So I think you guys need to be doing that. But more importantly, I want to talk about some of the stuff that you said, because some of this stuff hit me right in the feelers. Okay, so I'm going to go through a few of them because there's a lot. There's like 300. But one thing we definitely found out is that overall, if you take all of the bands and all of the artists, the main band that was kind of a thread throughout, which needs to fuck off out of history, was U2. That was kind of what we got, which I think is amazing, because U2 did that. They did that thing where they teamed up with iTunes and they actually made an album for free and they gave it to us, and we fucking hated them for it, which is really a really weird thing. So here's a big one. Mark Knopfler's awful voice. I mean, that hurts me deep down inside. Like, Dire Straits, of all the songs, Brothers in Arms is my favorite song of all time. And she's gonna just axe them out of history. That wouldn't work for me at all. So you got Dire Straits, U2, Metallica, Coldplay. I expected a lot of Coldplay. Oasis, Coldplay, a lot of Coldplay. Zeppelin. Oh, I mean, personally, like, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not the biggest Zeppelin fan, but I think there's gonna be a lot of you out there that are gonna be pissed off with that. There was a couple of then a couple of people. I like this one. There's a guy, I'm going to find him in a minute, who just said fuck off after it was like Iron Maiden and Bon Jovi, and he just put fuck off. You can't get rid of them. We had, let me see, what do we have? We had Pink Floyd, a couple of Pink Floyds, My Chemical Romance, and Beyonce. This was the one for me, Morrissey and the Smiths. This is what triggered the whole thing, because I was in the car and the Smiths came on and I just have an irrational hate for that guy's voice, and I just thought, oh, I wish I could just press a button and just erase the Smiths from history. One of them, music is subjective, what are you going to do? This is where it starts getting good. Dexy's Midnight Runners. If you could get rid of anyone, Dexy's Midnight Runners would be the one. Snoop Dogg, Metallica, Mariah Carey, this one. Queen can get in the bin. Queen can get in the bin. What's that about? Sex Pistols, Smiths, Joy Division, John Mayer. This was good. He put, it'd actually have to be John Mayer, and someone put, well, he's a really good guitar player. He's like, I know, I just think he's shit. Avenged Sevenfold, Insane Clown Posse. That's a good one, isn't it? Nirvana, without a doubt. Limp Bizkit, Smiths, ABBA. I love the fact that it's just all different stuff, which we had. The Venga Boys. See, now that Venga Boys, why would you waste it on the Venga Boys? Like, we're never going to hear from them ever again. They're probably all dead anyway. The Script, Scouting for Girls. Some people took this very, very seriously, by the way. He put Scouting for Girls. My main reason for this is the laziness in just repeating the same lyric over and over again. It just screams poor songwriting ability. And then someone put Nelly Furtado. Like, why would you put Nelly Furtado? Like, fucking, oh, I tell you what, if I could delete anyone from history, it would that fucking Fly Like a Bird song. Of all the bands, this is my favourite. It goes, I'm just going to read them out in order, right? It says, Oasis, Kasabian, Journey, Pink Floyd, the next one. Paganini can piss off out of history. Like, where did that come from? And how does he piss off out of history? But I like that. And this is my absolute favourite. Cliff Richard. Like, I'd fucking get rid of Cliff Richard. Muse Can Suck Balls. That got some hate. Nickelback. I'm surprised we didn't get more Nickelback, to be fair. I thought that'd be more of them. Kiss, Dido, Nirvana. What's amazing is just everyone's got an opinion. Somebody put anything that was made after 2000. And then they put, actually, probably from 1990 onwards. Now, if you think about the music industry started sort of properly in, 1960? And we're nearly in 2020. So that effectively is wiping out 50% of the entire music that's been written in the last, 30 years. Someone said, Boney M, obviously, or Boney fucking miming shite M. I like this. I don't like a single thing about it. I also think Sweet Child of Mine is the worst song ever. Zeppelin? Oh yeah, then I got told off for spreading hate. Sorry. Queen, not Queen again. Chili Peppers. Ooh, ouch. Queen not getting a lot of love. Someone put Queen, then someone put Muse, and someone put same thing. It just goes on. Jedward. Jimmy Barnes. Who the fuck is Jimmy Barnes? AC/DC wrote the same album 20 times in a row. It's a good album though, isn't it? James Blunt and his paedophile voice. Brilliant. Linkin Park. Fuck off. Fuck Metallica off, please. The Beatles are actually the most overrated shite in history. Yellow Submarine is arse. This is good. Foo Fighters. The drummer from Nirvana's average rock combo. God, the good thing, it just shows how nostalgic, subjective music is. So yeah, that is a lot. It just keeps going. I mean, I'm just not even halfway down. It just keeps going and going and going. And there's a lot of crying and a lot of anger. But more importantly, it just goes to show that everyone has an opinion. So a couple of months back, we did one on which decade would you get rid of? The 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and noughties. This one was which band would you get rid of? It is negative, but because it's got that negativity and everybody wants to get involved, and then everyone wants to sort of a bit of a banter, and it is for fun, and everyone took it in the good form that it was. But it just goes to show from a social media point of view what you can achieve with one small text. Just 2 minutes of thinking of the right question that's going to bring people in. So I want you to add that into your social media strategy once a week. Maybe once every fortnight, but I go once a week. Every week, come up with a question that is going to involve your audience and bring them in. And what it does is it actually brings them into your audience. It allows them to engage, but then what it does is it triggers the Facebook algorithm. So that's what I want you to think about. Have a think about it. Hit the subscribe, hit the like. Hashtag 60-minute win. I've just been signing a bunch of stuff for the t-shirts. So if you want a t-shirt, a Skype, or a face-to-face, then hashtag 60-minute win below. Otherwise, see you guys tomorrow.